Hello, I'm Teacher Dennis and welcome once again to another tutorial video in Dengs TV. In this video, we're going to talk about factoring. So we have 3 examples for our factoring completely and hopefully I'll be able to discuss them properly. So let's get it on. Ayan. So, meron tayong tatlong given at kailangan natin tong i-factor completely. I will not be starting with letter A but instead, I will be starting with the basics of the basics. So, pinakamadali yung letter B. So, mag-start muna tayo sa letter B. So, allow me to copy it first. So, we have x squared minus 17x plus 72. So, rule of thumb, whenever you're going to start factoring completely, kailangan i-check nyo muna if the three terms or the terms of your equation has greatest common monomial factor. So, this ensures na mas madali nyong ma-handle yung mga numbers dito. Okay? So, since wala naman siyang greatest common monomial factor, mag-proceed na tayo dun sa pag-factor ng quadratic equation na to. So, usually, when you factor quadratic equations, you usually check first muna yung third nating term, okay? So, we check yung factor nito and then iisip ka ng dalawang factor wherein if you add or you subtract, dapat magkaroon ka ng yung numerical coefficient nung second term of your equation. So, in this case, let's think of the factors ng 72. So, let's think of the multiplication facts na alam natin sa 72. So, we all know that 8 times 9 is 72. So, let's have color blue. So, 8 and 9. So, upon checking, 8 plus 9 is indeed 17. Okay? So, goods na tayo doon. So, but in other cases na hindi siya 17, pwede siya yung pag-minusin. So, 8 and 9 could also be 1. Okay? So, parang 9 minus 8. Or, you also check other factors or yung prime factors ng 8, prime factors ng 9, laro-laruin nyo, combine them, and then produce like 2. But make sure all prime factors are used dun sa dalawang factors, dun sa dalawang big factors that you will produce kapag pinag-add nyo. At dapat, pag pinag-add nyo, dapat ang sum niya ay yung second term. Okay? So, since 8 and 9 sums to 17, so it adds to 17. So, ang procedure niyan ay open close parentheses, write the square root of your first term. Tapos, isulat nyo na yung 8 and 9. Okay? So, for conditioning, isulat nyo na lang yung 9 sa una and 8 sa ikalawa. So, bakit? Kasi I want you kasi madalas tayong nagkakamali, okay? Kasi later on, we will be needing to check yung sign ng ating second term at ibibigay natin ito doon sa mas malaki. Para lang, lagi nyo lang maalala na ilalagay nyo yung sign of your second term ng equation doon sa first product na inyong nakuha. Okay? So, for the sake lang ng conditioning, para hindi na kayo magkamali. Okay? So, you write negative. For this case, we have negative here. And then, here, after checking yung sign nung first, yung second naman, yung aalamin natin, ano nga ba ang sign ng ating second factor? So, ang magdidictate niyan ay yung sign ng inyong third term sa inyong equation. So, we all know na pag ginawa natin yung FOIL, okay, and we do the last, okay, so when we do the last of the FOIL, so first, yung ating inner, yung ating outer at saka inner, tapos yung ating last, okay? So as you can see, if it's the last term would only be positive kung magkabareho sila. So I usually say na magkabate, okay? So kailangan pareha sila ng sign, kaya negative, magkabate. So if it is positive, magkabati sila. If it is negative, magkaaway. So kung magkaaway, dapat positive to. So in our case, in our example, letter B, so magkabati sila because this is positive, kaya dapat pareha sila ng sign dito. So that brings us to our factors, which is x minus 9 and x minus 8. So this is the answer for letter B. So lagyan natin ng box, okay? So make sure you do this good practice of boxing or putting a box on your final answer so that your teachers will be able to see what is your final answer. Okay, so we're done with letter B. Letter B, done. Yay. Okay, so now let's proceed with letter C. Ihuli natin yung letter A because A is kind of complex. You really have to think more dun sa letter A. Okay, so let's copy letter C dito sa baba. So, usod natin. So, we have 4y cubed plus 20y squared minus 55y. Okay, so there. And 55y minus 55y. So, again, rule of thumb, the first thing that you have to do is to check the greatest common monomial factor among these three terms. And as you can see, there is a common y to these three terms. So all you need to do is to remove y. Okay. And then later on, you divide each and every term, like 4y cubed divided by y, 20y squared divided by y, and negative 5y divided by y. So that will bring us to 4y squared, okay, plus 20y minus 55. So just in case, para lang ma-sure nyo if you did it correctly, as you can see, diba, we never write 1 here, but there's an imaginary 1 there, or there is an implicit. Tama ba? Basta may 1 talaga doon. We don't write it anymore. So if that sums to the one on top, so that's why I usually write it exactly below so that I could train my eyes and see and inspect. So 1 plus 2 katapat 3. 1 plus 1 katapat 2. 1 plus 0. So we have 0 here. So y raised to 0. 1 plus 0. So definitely it's just 1. Okay? So, pandagdag lang yan. Okay? Para lang maiwasan natin yung mga careless mistakes na hindi natin naayos yung ating pagtanggal sa ating greatest common monomial factor. Okay? So, ang daming kwento, no? Sorry naman. Okay. So, gusto ko lang talaga maging detailed sa ating sa ating discussion. Okay? So, as you can see, katulad nung ginawa natin kanina, okay? So, if the case is A, if there is a numerical coefficient dun sa pinakaunang part ng inyong quadratic equation, when A is not equal to 1, then you have to consider the factors of that para ma-check nyo yung second. Kumbaga, what I mean is, you check again the factors of your third term, and then the factors of the numerical coefficient of your first term. Tapos, you play with it na dapat magiging 20 siya. Okay? So, we all know that 55 has 5, 11. I-consider na rin natin ang 1. And then, we have 2, 2, and 1. So, those are the factors that we have to consider. So, we have 2, 2, 1, 5, and 11. So, if we play with it, okay? So, we have, for example, let's try and test. So, we have like 4. And then, this is 55. Oh guys, medyo malayo na yun. So, hindi pwede siya maging 20. If you add 55 and 4, it's either going to be 59 o kaya 51. So, kung sana 59 and 51, then 4 and 55 are factors of it. However, it's not. So, let's try to make a sensible grouping wherein medyo magkadikit yung mga factors. Like, for example, ito. 2, 2, 5, and 11. So, this is like 20, right? 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 5 is 20. And then 20 times 1, it's still 20. And then we have 11. Okay? As you can see, guys, hindi pa rin kasi it either can be 31 or 9. Diba? If you add or subtract. So, hindi pa rin yun yung grouping na kailangan natin. What if itong 4 at saka 11? So, it's going to be 44. Medyo malayo na naman. So, don't do this. And 5. So, it can either be 49 o kaya 39. So, hindi pa rin ito, guys. So, always check na, 20 lang yun. So, malamang sa malamang, they are just like even factors na magkadikit lang. So, wala na talaga tayong makuha eh. So, try na lang natin ito yung last. Okay? So, this is like 22, and so this is 10, right? So it can either be 32, okay? So 32, hindi yan 20, and 12. So again, hindi rin to 20, hindi to 20, hindi to 20, okay? So after magamit mo na ang lahat ng combination, okay? Huwag niyo nang ipilit. Yan na yun. Kasi I tried this earlier and this is really the factors na pwede mo makuha. Okay? So, we have y times 4y squared plus 20y minus 55. So, the quadratic equation that we have here is not factorable anymore. And this is your final answer. Okay? Tandaan yan, guys, ha? Huwag kayong mababagot. Huwag kayong mafo-frustrate, okay? If you did it already, then definitely it's not factorable. But in most cases, sometimes it works kapag gagamitin nyo yung 1. Pero hindi ito yung case na yan. Don't worry, I'll try my best to produce another video for that kind of example. Okay? So let's have letter A this time, okay? So x cubed. No. Ito na ang medyo pangmalakasan nating problem. So x cubed plus 3x squared. So let's copy it here. X cubed plus 3x squared. And then the next ones are negative 5x at negative 15. Negative 5x at negative 15. So let's just double check. X cubed, 3x squared minus 5x minus 15. Ayan, tama na yan. So guys, I will be honest to you, okay? So this is something na you would only be able to factor if you experience a lot of factoring in your lives. So in short, parang alam nyo na ang pwede maging outcome. Okay? So for example, if I'm a newbie, when I was younger, I would usually check and factor out x dito. And then, okay, greatest common monomial factor, x, tapos magiging x squared plus 3x tapos minus 5. However, still, pinagulo ko lang lalo. Mas lalo ko lang pinagulo ang buhay ko. Right? So, I didn't get any factor here. Tapos, okay, hindi naman factorable ang 5 kasi 5 and 1 will not make 3. So, don't do this anymore. Okay? So, don't be tempted in getting the greatest common monomial factor on the terms na merong variable na common. Okay? So, you can also do like this. Like, okay, let's try natin yung, paano ba? Pwede kasing, kunyari, try natin yung 3x. Okay, so I will just cut the long explanation, okay? In short, those kind of thingy will not work unless you really have seen all the kinds of factoring that you tried already. Parang by experience talaga to eh. So, kasi I've been trying this earlier also. And eventually, na-guess ko kasi, since this is like a two-step factoring. Okay? So, like, you will group it this first, followed by this, kasi eventually, there will be a factor na x dito. Tapos, as you can see, meron ditong 3. And when you factor 5 here, and 5 from here, you will get a common also, like a 3. So, I will show it to you now. Ang dami kong kwento. Ang daming intro bago doon sa exact solution. So, you can just jump to this timeline and directly watch it from here. Okay, so I will start. So, again, I will be grouping them together by 2's. So, I will have x cubed muna. X cubed plus 3x squared. Okay, so this is the first group. And then the second group will be, okay, so I will just add, sige, kopyahin ko na lang muna, baka kasi malito lang kayo. So minus 5x minus 15. So if you will factor out the one that I'm indicating earlier, the common factor here is x squared. There is a common x squared here. There is a common x squared on the second term. So x squared will be out from this quantity. So x squared dito. Tapos definitely this is going to be x and this is going to be 3. Tapos ito na. Be careful about this ha, guys. So as you can see here, dito sa natitirang dalawang term of your 4 terms na equation. So common to these is negative 5. Okay, ilabas natin ang negative 5 from negative 5x at saka negative 15. So we have negative 5. So but be very careful here ha. So negative 5 coming out from negative 5x, huwag na kayong mag-isip. Kopyahin nyo na lang yung natira kasi tinanggal nyo na nga yung negative 5, di ba? Baka magkamali pa. Okay, and then next here, tinanggal nyo na yung negative dito. So wala nang negative, magiging matitira lang dyan positive. Okay? So and then 15 divided by 5, that will be 3. Okay, it makes sense, right? Kasi negative times negative, it's negative. Negative times positive, another negative. Okay? So hopefully guys, huwag kayong malilito sa mga pangyayaring iyan. Okay? And then by inspecting, okay, it's very obvious na dito sa dalawang terms, so ibilangin natin how many terms are the result of these after the first step. So we have first term, we have the second term of this binomial. Okay? However, as you can see, there is a common quantity on these two. So pwede nyo itong ilabas. Okay? So greatest common monomial factor na naman. Okay? And then when you put it out, x plus 3 will be gone. And then we will get the x plus 3 from this first term. So ang matitira na lang dyan ay yung x squared nyo. And then, wait lang, baka malito kayo dito. Baka akalaan nyo merong denominator. So binura ko na. Okay, and then you copy the sign of the negative 5. So you copy it here, negative. And then, so mawala itong x plus 3. So negative 5 na lang talaga yung matitira. Okay? So kindly train your eyes to see. X squared na lang dito. Ito yun. Negative 5, ito yun. Dahil inilabas nyo na yung x plus 3 na quantity. Guys. And then, you cannot further factor x squared minus 5. So that is going to be the final answer. Okay? So guys, hindi ko alam kung napahaba ba ang aking explanation. And forgive me, I've been overthinking so much so that you will really be able to understand the details of factoring. So if ever you have questions, you can PM me or you can comment on the comment section of this video once this is posted. Okay? So once again, maraming salamat for staying with me. Hopefully you enjoy this video tutorial. And if ever natutunan nyo to, don't forget to share this to others. Not the video, but I mean the learning, okay? Because 90% of what you teach or do, you learn. So if you teach this agad-agad sa inyong mga kaklase, you will be able to process this on your own and then nakatulong pa kayo. Okay? So but why not? If you're going to share this video to others on your timeline, why not? So that will help me reach more viewers sa Denks TV. Okay? So maraming salamat. See you again soon on my next videos. Bye-bye!